Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sonia Sophia. You are here with Magnus and I, and we are holding space for you among many, many thousands of other people who are all tapping into solidarity to move this world into a better place by moving themselves into a better place. So, thank you for your participation in the healing of humanity. Welcome. This circle is entitled Walking in Your Wisdom. So, as you may know, I meditate before each circle, listen in. What does this particular circle need to be about? I don't try to premeditate it or chart it or plot it or plan it. I'm actually listening in the moment to the needs of the group that's about to receive this. And what I heard was this feeling of being wise and judicious in how you are using your time and your energy. So this sense of being prudent and care-filled, where you're making wise and strategic decisions, even if it's not with your intellect, it's with your emotional body, that you are applying this sense of prudence and wisdom and carefulness to what you're up to. So that's what we're going to tap on. So if you are here in the chat room, this is that moment where you get to stay involved by chatting in and saying hello and telling us where you're logging in from and letting us know how you're doing right now. If you're watching on replay, you may be situating yourself, getting yourself a glass of water, getting yourself something to write on, getting yourself some tissues, because you never know what's going to come flying out of you as you begin to process with this exceptional tool called EFT. Peeking into the chat, I'm seeing Nins here from New York City, Christina in Santa Rosa, California, Mark D, who says it's his first time. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the circle. Andrea, I'm never sure how, Andrea, how to say your chat name. Welcome. You're in Arizona. Purple Dragon in New Brunswick. Jeffrey on the East Coast. Yo! Nicole and Sunshine. Hi, lovelies. Tapping in rural Manitoba, Canada. Mark D says he's here in Austin. Anne, I see you here. Sweetheart from Reno. Was just thinking about you minutes ago. Would love to reconnect with you. Welcome, everybody. I'm seeing people piling in by the second. Aaron Shredder in Oakland. Kat in San Francisco. Madame Sortis in Ohio. Wow, Pam in Los Angeles. So many cool people here. Really, really happy to be a part of your life. Thanks for letting us in. So, walking in our wisdom. So, how are you going to use this session? You're going to tune into a part of your life where you feel like you're not walking your talk. Where are you a little off course? It could be in your personal self-care, like downtime. Maybe you're overworking. Maybe it's around health, where it's about, I need to shift my diet, or I need to change the way I'm taking care of my physical body through exercise or getting some sunshine. Maybe it's in, I'm not actually practicing what I preach around relationship. Maybe I know better, but I'm doing something anyway. Maybe it's around substances, what you're putting into your body to give yourself feelings of well-being and joy, knowing that actually processing is the answer rather than numbing. Who knows? Maybe it's at how you're spending money. But wherever you're out of alignment, this is a good session for you to use to not be judging yourself on any level, but to gently just rebalancing, just kind of squiggling into that place where you're like, this is the place where I actually feel proud of myself. This is the place where I feel most excited when I do this. I know I feel good about myself. And that's where we want to stay the majority of our time. We're not talking about, you never get out of whack, or you never kind of binge on this, or, overdo it on that angle. But how long do you want to stay in a place that isn't actually your equilibrium? So we're going to bring ourselves back to a place where our walk and our talk, where our wisdom is aligned, and we are happier when we are in that space, right? So, welcome to you. Tuning into where in your life do you want to aim this session? What would be most valuable for you right now? Remembering that this session will be uploaded by tomorrow into the World Tapping Circle members area that you automatically have use of. If you don't use the video library, what are you thinking? Get in there. You can redo the same video on a variety of subjects. So maybe you're out of integrity with your own self, not with anyone else's judgment, on multiple places. Maybe you want to be more spiritual, but you don't actually create time for that. Maybe you want to be more physical, but you don't create time for that. You can use this circle on one of those areas, and then in a couple of days do it again on another one. So worldtappingcircle.com members area is where you're going to find all these videos. Use them. That's what they're there for. All right. Hopefully this is enough time for you to decide and discern what would make the most benefit for you. If you could wave a magic wand and get yourself back into alignment around hydration, around sexual integrity, around creativity, around making time to socialize, or making time to focus on your business, whatever it is, this is the circle. All right, honey, I'll see you in 5 minutes. We're diving into the core causes questions, where your topic, when it says name this issue, is going to be around whatever topic you deem most useful to you right now, around aligning your wise walk with your wise talk. We'll see you in 5. right, sweethearts, welcome back. Here we go. So even if it's your first time, just follow along. Be prepared for off-gassing stored stress from your nervous system in the form of the possibility of yawning, laughing, burping, crying, your body flushing with sensation or energy. What's happening is that you are detoxing rapidly at the speed of thought. So you're just going to relax and let it rip, okay? The more you can breathe, especially if you're experiencing strong sensation on any level, whether that be physical, emotional, or spiritual, the better you're going to do. So just keep relaxing and being honest with yourself, remembering that you have total privacy right now. So you're going to repeat after me. I'm going to tell you where to tap on the body. If the words I'm using don't jive with your personal situation, edit them, change them, get jiggy, get real with yourself. This isn't about like mass mind control. This is about you getting honest with your own experience and bringing love and acceptance to the neural networks, the biology, the cellular memory that's contained inside you. Reading that program, bringing empathy and acceptance to it, and then letting that do its magic, which actually deletes and changes and edits that, and then allowing you to reprogram yourself as that empathy does its work. Sounds complex, but it's super simple. Massaging the front of the chest. Here we go. Deep, clear breath, tuning into the issue that you're focusing this session on. All right. Repeat after me. Even though I have this issue with, and then say what your issue is about. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the eyebrows, this issue. And breathe. Tapping the temples, this issue. Name your issue again. Say it out loud as you tap. And tapping the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the nose, even if a part of me feels really stuck here and really resistant. Tapping under the lips. Part of me feels really resistant here. Let's just acknowledge that. You know, getting our talk and our walk to turn into the same thing. Sometimes we know what to do, but we just don't do it. Tapping the chest. The wise part of me, tuning into that wise part of you, knows what to do here. And the rest of me is not always compliant. Right? Tapping the front of the ribs. The wisest part of me does know what to do. Tapping the bottom of the ribs. I'm going to roll back here so you can see where that point is. Bottom of the rib cage. Okay? The wisest part of me knows what to do. Tapping the side of the ribs. And you can tap like this or cross your arms and tap like this. Either way. The wisest part of me does know what to do. Let's just acknowledge that. Yeah, I do. I get it. I know I shouldn't lay in bed and eat organic chips at 11 o'clock. Whatever that is. Tap the inside of the wrist. Let's just admit for fun, okay? I told you mine, you tell me yours. I know I shouldn't. What is it? See that person. Still stay with whatever. Whew. Tapping this side of the thumb. And another part of me doesn't know how to stop doing this. Tapping the index finger. Another part of me is committed to doing that. Yeah, right? Tap the middle finger. Big, deep, noisy breath. Wow, that's a lot. And we're only a few seconds into it. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Part of me knows better. And tap your little finger. And a part of me says, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. Don't tell me what to do. Tap the side of the hand. This part of me that's in rebellion. Tapping the top of the head and breathing. Tapping the eyebrows. This part of me that's in rebellion. Tapping the temples. I don't want to see it. Let's sing the I don't want to see it song for a minute. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Don't want to see it. Tapping the cheeks and breathing. I don't want to see this. Tapping under the nose. I love and accept myself. Tapping under the lips, even if I'm in rebellion against my own inner wisdom. Tapping the chest. Raise your hand. Are you in rebellion against your own inner wisdom? It's a big deal, right? We're all a little bit like that. Tapping the front of the ribs, bottom of the rib cage. I accept the part of me that's still in rebellion. Tuning in to how much rebellion is there. Maybe you're 90% rebelling and pretty much sabotaging your entire existence. Tapping the side of the ribs. Maybe you're only a little bit in rebellion and only 1 out of 3 times do you sabotage yourself. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I accept the part of me that feels like it's fighting for the cause by staying in rebellion. Tapping the side of the thumb. So let's zoom in on that part of you. This part of me does not want to, and say what it doesn't want to do. Doesn't want to eat my vegetable. Doesn't want to go to bed at a reasonable hour. Doesn't want to brush my teeth. Doesn't want to drink water. What's your deal? Doesn't want to be honest about this. Tapping your index finger. Go ahead and blurt it out. Part of me does not want to and remembering that you can use this video like 20 more times. I think I've got like, I could use this in so many areas. It could be around saving money. It could be around eating correctly. Tap the middle finger. Part of me does not want to, say it again. Tapping the bottom of the 4th finger. Stomp your feet. I don't want to. Say it again with some enthusiasm. Throw your little fit. I don't want to do it. Tap your little finger. I don't want to do it. You can't make me. Tap the side of the hand. I love and respect myself even if I stay in perpetual rebellion against the wisest part of myself. Wow. I'm staying in rebellion against the wisest part of myself. Tapping the top of the head, the back of the skull, sides of the head, and breathing. Just going to hang out. Acknowledge this rebellion. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the temples, even if I stay rebellious. Tapping the cheeks, this part of me that's rebelling. Tapping under the nose. Why am I rebelling? Let's say that 3 times. Tapping under the lips and breathing. Why am I rebelling? Tapping the chest. Why am I rebelling? Why am I rebelling? I'm rebelling because blurt the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Rebelling because it seems like it's more fun. Tapping the bottom of the ribs. Bottom of the rib cage right here. I'm rebelling because Tapping the side of the rib cage. Say again why you think you're rebelling. That might change every time you mention it. It could be the same thing. And breathe, tapping the inside of the wrist. Let's switch hands actually. Let's do the opposite hand, inside of the wrist. I accept the part of me that's rebelling. Tap the side of the thumb. Even if I've been doing this and say how long you've been rebelling in this particular way around this particular subject. So if it was saving money, it'd be, I've been rebelling against saving money since I was a kid, and my dad told me to save my allowance for college. Tap the index finger and breathe. I've been rebelling since the church told me I had to or I couldn't do what? It's a hot one. You're doing it. Stay with me. Tap your middle finger. I love and respect myself. Even if I'm sabotaging the wisest part of me every day around this topic. Tapping the bottom of your fourth finger and breathing. This self-sabotage. Tapping the little finger and breathing. This self-sabotage. Tapping the side of the hand. Part of me is committed to staying free, protecting myself from what? What is the rebellion about? So imagine that there's this kind of revolution going on that thinks it's doing the right thing. It's all geared towards autonomy or sovereignty or proving people wrong. Tap the top of the head. Or having my independence. Tap the sides of the head. Or proving to who? My parents, the church, school, my friends, my boss. Who are you trying to prove what to? I'm trying to prove to... Tapping the eyebrows. I'm giving myself permission. Tapping the temples. To release the need to prove to who? Tapping the cheeks. What? What are you trying to prove? And breathe. And tapping into the nose. Releasing the need to prove what to who? For example, proving to my dad that I can take care of myself. Tapping into the lips. Or proving to my mom that I'm worthy of love. Tapping the chest and releasing this need to prove. Say again what it is that you think you might subconsciously be trying to prove. And to who. Tapping all over the chest and breathing. And tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the side of the ribs. Even if a part of me stays in rebel mode the rest of my life. Tapping the inside of the wrist. What if I stay in rebel mode the rest of my life? I can do that. Tap the side of the thumb. I can do that. As a matter of fact, part of me is dead set on doing that. We're just going to hang out there. Well, this job is not about convincing your rebel to stop doing its thing. We're just going to hang out and see what the strategy is. Big breath, tapping the index finger. Tapping the middle finger. I love and accept myself. Even if I stay committed to this old strategy. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger because a part of me is convinced that I need to, what? What is it that you think you need to do? Prove them wrong or show them that what spiritual people can eat bacon or people that do what they love. What is it that you're trying to prove? The little finger. I'm trying to prove, say it one more time very concisely. Trying to prove to who? I'm tapping the side of the hand. I accept the part of me that feels like this is a valid and reasonable choice to make for the rest of my life. Well, that's awkward, right? Now that you put it that way, tapping the top of the head. Do I want to make this choice the rest of my life? When have I proven it? Tapping the eyebrows. When is enough enough? Tapping the temples. What about the wisest part of me? Tapping the cheeks. Let's tune into that part of you. What is the wisest part of you trying to get you to see or understand? Tapping into the nose, and just blurt that out after we say, what is the wisest part of me trying to get me to see? So we say that 3 times. What is the wisest part of me trying to get me to see? What is the wisest part of me trying to get me to see? What is the wisest part of me trying to get me to see in this area? Tapping under the lips, blurt it out. Here we go. Wisest part of me is trying to get me to see and understand that. Tapping the chest. Listen to what you just said. Tapping the front of the ribs. The wisest part of me is pretty wise. Tapping the side of the ribs. The wisest part of me knows stuff. Tap the inside of the wrist. The wisest part of me is actually trying to help me. Breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if part of me isn't congruent with the wisest part of me. Tapping the index finger. Giving myself permission to see what this wisdom has for me. Tap the middle finger. So we're not committing to walking the path of wisdom. We're just going to check it out and see what it's trying to guide us towards. Tapping the bottom of the 4th finger. So what is that wisest part of you trying to give you? It's trying to give me security. It's trying to give me compassion. It's trying to give me security, safety. What is it trying to give you? Tap your little finger and breathe. Tapping this side of the hand. The wisest part of me is trying to give me a solid place to come from. It's trying to evolve me. Trying to help me move past what? A feeling of scarcity, a feeling of fear. Tap the back of the head. A feeling of unworthiness. I'm tapping the eyebrows. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Big, noisy breath. Tapping the temples, even if I'm not listening to this wise part of me 100% of the time. Tapping the cheeks. There's a lot of places that I'm listening to the wisest part of me most of the time, right? Tapping under the nose. We wouldn't be tapping together if you weren't listening to the wisest part of you to some degree, right? Let's face that. Tapping under the lips. There's a wise part of you that tells you what? There's a few things. One is go to the tapping circle. What else does it tell you? Tapping the chest. Let's just name 5 or 10 things that the wisest part of you actually is doing really well. It tells me to eat food. It tells me to take a bath or a shower. It tells me to get some sleep. It tells me when a relationship isn't a place that I should keep investing. It tells me that I should pay my rent or make a car payment. It tells me who my friends are and who aren't my friends. Oh, goodness sakes, tapping the front of the ribs. There's a part of me that's pretty wise, and it's been navigating me up to this point. Tap the side of the ribs. It's doing a pretty good job of keeping me alive, actually. Let's give it a little credit. Let's give it a little bow. Like, as much as I fight you, you're actually doing a pretty good job. You told me to get some groceries. I got them. Now there's some food in my fridge. Tap the inside of the wrist. You told me to make that phone call. I did. And it turned out well. Tap the side of the thumb. What if I were more open to listening to this? Oops, it's making me burp. I'm growing. Tap the index finger. What if I were more open to this wisest part of me? And tap the middle finger. Is it possible that this part of me has my best interest at heart? And tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What does this wisest part of me in this particular area that we're tapping on want you to know? This part of me wants me to know what? Say it out loud. Say it 3 times. This part of me wants me to know that I'm capable. This part of me wants me to know that I'm worthy. This part of me wants me to know that I've got what it takes. And that I can trust myself. Tap the little finger. That I'm in the right place. Tap the side of the hand. This part of me wants me to know. Say it out loud one more time with some enthusiasm. Tap the top of the head. Does that sound like a message worth listening to? Let's just ask ourselves right now. Actually, yes. That part of me is a good place to listen to. I do feel that that is a loving message. Tap the temples. I love and respect myself, even if I've been at odds with this wise and loving voice that's trying to help me. Tapping the cheeks, my own soul's loving guidance. Dun dun. Tapping under the nose, my own soul's loving guidance. You don't have to do dun dun the second time, but I hear it, right? Why am I afraid of my own soul's loving guidance? Tapping the chest. Why am I afraid to follow this prudent path? Do I judge it as boring? Tap the front of the ribs. Do I judge it as less important than what other people want from me? Tapping the side of the ribs. Do I judge it as what? Tapping the inside of the wrist. I accept the part of me that still has some resistance. Tap the side of the thumb, tuning into that resistance to listening to this part of you that wants you to walk your wisdom. Tap the index finger. Ask yourself, what are you secretly afraid of deep down? And listen for that answer. Tapping the middle finger. I'm secretly afraid of what? Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger and just process that for a second. I'm secretly afraid that if I listened and moved myself in this direction, that what would you lose? What's the liability here? That I might lose my job. I might lose love. I might lose my place in my family. Tap the little finger. Maybe I'll lose friends. Maybe I'll lose my mind. Tap the side of the hand. I'm giving myself permission to accept this fear of losing and then say what it is. Tapping the top of the head. I love and respect myself even if I stay afraid of losing what? I'm tapping the eyebrows. I'm giving myself permission. Tap the temples. To walk my talk. Tap the cheeks. To listen into this wise voice. Tapping under the nose. And to take it to heart. Tapping under the lips. Let's tune in for a moment on times that you listened to the wise voice inside of yourself. It may have been painful. It may have led to a lot of change. But check and see if that change actually put you in a better position. Did it advance you? Did it evolve you? I know it may have been challenging, but in the end, was it for the best? Right? Tap the front of the ribs. Okay, fine. Listening to this wise voice inside of me has been good for me in the past. Tap the side of the ribs. So, would it be prudent for you to listen to that wise voice? Again, tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to giving myself an opportunity to grow and advance. Tap the side of the thumb. Even if I've stayed stuck and resistant since. Now, referring back to the core causes questions, what do you think impacted your ability to move forward in this area of your life that made you want to fight or rebel? What memory or who in your family modeled this behavior? It could be one of those two things. Either you had to fight because you went to Catholic school, or you had to fight because someone abused you, or you made a decision early on for some reason. Maybe it was because there was a role model in your life that this is just the way it's done. That's what mom did, or that's what dad did. Tapping in the index finger, tuning in to when this rebellion started. What do you attribute it to? It's possible that this started way back when I was how old? Guess. Blurt it out. First thing that comes to your head. Tapping your middle finger. And breathing. It's possible this started back when I was, say it again. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if I've been doing this since I was how old? 7, 5, 3. Tap your little finger. Because, say again what you think this started as. Because I had to fight for my survival. Tap the side of the hand. I'm giving myself permission to heal what happened. Tapping the top of the head, including the idea that what? What is it that you thought was true at the time, and maybe it really was, and maybe it was just a perception of a young child. Give myself permission to acknowledge that I thought or believed or felt what was true. For example, that girls couldn't, or that people who were going to succeed needed to do this or that. Tapping the eyebrows. Part of me decided, say it again, blurt it out. Tapping the temples and breathing. Tapping the cheeks, this decision. Tapping into the nose. Let's blurt that same decision out again. This decision to what? I'm tapping under the lips. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the chest, even if a part of me stayed stuck until this very moment. Doing exactly what I saw. What did you see? The people around me doing, or my parents doing, or my brother or sister doing. And tap the front of the ribs. I can live that way forever if I want to, or if I need to. Tapping the side of the ribs. And it's possible that there's a wiser path in front of me now. Tap the inside of the wrist. An easier path that expedites joy and evolution and power and grace. Tap the side of the thumb. This wiser path is here to expedite joy. Tap the index finger in evolution. Tap the middle finger and grace. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger and power. Tap the little finger. I'm allowing myself to realign and redesign myself. Tap the side of the hand, coming into alignment with the wisest part of myself, even if it feels a little awkward or scary. And breathe. Tapping the top of the head, this awkward, scary, rebellious feeling. Tapping the eyebrows, this awkward, scary, rebellious feeling. Tap the temples, it's just fear. Tap the cheeks, this remaining fear, and breathe. Tapping into the nose. I love and accept myself. Tapping under the nose, even with this remaining fear. Tapping the chest about, and then say what it is that your issue's really about. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing this to be easier than I thought it would be. Tap the side of the thumb. More fun than I imagined. Tap the index finger to receive instant benefits. Okay? Tapping the chest and just breathing. Tuning into the issue that you're working on one more time. At the beginning of this session in the Core Causes questions, I asked you to rate the intensity of your issue from 1 to 10 on a scale of how intense this issue is for you. Tuning in and seeing where you're at now with it and what's still holding that piece of stress or fear or resistance together for you. In other words, maybe I was a 10 of intensity, maybe I'm down to a 5 or a 2. There's still a little piece I haven't addressed that has something to do with what. So go ahead and put that into the chat for a second so we know where you're at. We can see the progression. And if you're watching this on replay, you're tapping and tuning in. Because every time we tap, we have an option internally to reformat that information. And every time you consciously check in with yourself at a subconscious level, that information changes just a little bit depending on the quality of your attention. And what I mean by that is when I check in and send love to myself, it changes the old negative program. When I check in and send hatred or fear or anxiety to myself, the program strengthens. So what we've been doing is checking in 100 little times and sending empathy, acknowledgement, understanding, compassion to these parts of ourselves, which actually allows them to update and reformat so you have a new program that runs your choices, that runs your moods, your feelings, your opportunities. All right. Christina says, I'm down to a 6 from a 10. I just don't wanna. I can't. Too hard. I'm afraid it'll never come back or come to me in a newer, more healthier version. Great. Good to acknowledge. Go ahead and say that again and again while you tap, Christina. Bella has gone from a 9 to a 6. Erin Shredder, willing to walk the wiser path makes me feel a 4 from an 8. Beautiful. Purple Dragon says, a 7 down to a 6. Old religious beep I was taught is still affecting me. So good to know. And you're not alone, Purple Dragon. I had a lot of old religious beep as well to overcome. And here we are. Okay, tapping the eyebrow, giving myself the possibility. Tap the temple of what? What are you giving yourself the possibility of? Create something new for yourself. Giving myself the possibility of healing this old religious stuff, or giving myself a possibility that I've mistaken my voice of wisdom for anxiety. This says Nins. Tapping under the lips, giving myself the possibility of respecting my rebel for trying to protect me while doing what? Big, deep breath. Tapping the front of the ribs. I love and respect myself and the side of the ribs. I'm giving myself this new opportunity. Tap the inside of the wrist. Even if it means healing, what would you might have to heal? Like my entire imprint of what being a woman is, or what being in a relationship looks like, or what being successful feels like. Tap the side of the thumb. Willing to heal this, even if it means dismantling and reconstructing what? The way I live and breathe. Tap the index finger. What would it be like to be that committed to myself? Tap the middle finger. What would it be like to take that much responsibility for my own happiness? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What would it be like to take my power back from who? Or from what? Like from my parents or from the church? Tap the little finger. What would it be like to gently move through this with dignity and grace? Tap the side of the hand, releasing the need to fight or to freak out or to hide. Tap the top of the head, releasing the need to continue to fight this loving, wise part of me that is persevering. Tapping the eyebrows. I accept this part of me. Tap the temples. My own soul's loving guidance. Tap the cheeks. It's trying to support me. Tapping under the nose. Trying to help me do what? What is that loving part of you doing? It's trying to help me be a stronger, clearer person. Tapping the chest, trying to help me stand up for myself. Trying to help me grow and mature. This part of myself, even if I silenced it, even if I hid it away from myself, is really trying to teach me what? Tapping the front of the ribs and breathing. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm giving myself this possibility. Tap the inside of the wrist of paying attention. Tapping the thumb and breathing. And tapping the index finger, giving myself the possibility of paying attention to what? Tap the middle finger, allowing myself to feel this little nudge inside and to make the best choice for myself. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, even if I'm breaking an old habit of pushing myself into a place of what? A place of stress, a place of fear, a place of doubt, a place of guilt. Tap the little finger. I'm releasing this need to continue to hurt myself in this way. Tap the side of the hand, giving myself permission to take myself into this new territory until it becomes normal and easy and the obvious choice. Tapping the top of the head. Remembering back to when doing simple things like going to bed or brushing your teeth or eating healthy food was a really hard thing for you to learn how to do. Maybe you fought it. Tap the eyebrows. Whatever it is where you've had success, tapping the temples like studying or even just paying your bills on time. You've managed to do some part of your life right, or you wouldn't be here, right? So think about where you struggled to get to where you are, and the fact that you actually made it and you've ingrained these positive habits, and that what we're talking about is just doing another one of those. Maybe it's giving yourself a workout routine, or the ability to speak your truth when you need to speak your truth so you don't let things build up and turn into like long-term weirdness. Tapping the front of your ribs. I'm giving myself this new opportunity to do, and then say what it is that you're going to do. Tap the side of the ribs, even if I'm the first one in my entire family to get it. You might be. Tap the inside of the wrist. I might be setting a new record for my family. Tap the side of the thumb. I might be setting a whole new record for my family. Tap the index finger. I might be the first one to really, and then say what it is that you're creating for yourself, to exercise on a regular basis, or to speak my truth in a loving way. Tap the middle finger. I'm giving myself this possibility. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. No matter how hard it is to shift the old standard way, tap the little finger. I'm giving myself permission to walk this path of wisdom in a graceful way. Tap the side of the hand, feeling the ease and the benefit immediately. Tapping the top of the head, allowing myself to feel empowered by this choice. Tapping the sides of the head, aligned with this wise person inside of me. Tap the eyebrows, even if this is a brand new concept. Tap the temples. I'm fostering a relationship with this inner wisdom. Tapping the cheeks, knowing that this is the prudent path for me to take. Tapping into the nose. But making this choice again and again will create what? So if you take this wiser path, what do you think it's going to actually generate for you? Maybe it's going to save you a lot of energy or a lot of heartache. Tap the chest. Maybe it's going to save you face and bring you a lot more respect and credibility in your circle of influence, your family, your friends. Tap the front of the ribs. Maybe it's going to bring you more income or better health or a longer life. Tap the inside of the wrist. Stating one more time clearly, choosing this prudent, wise path gives me what? What are 3 huge benefits? It gives me greater self-esteem. Tap the side of the thumb. It gives me integrity with my own truth. Tap the index finger. Gives me confidence and faith in myself. Tap the middle finger. It gives me joy. Tap the bottom of the 4th finger. I release the need to feed the part of me that has sabotaged me out of listening to my truth and following through. Tap the little finger, releasing the fear, releasing the old imprints, no matter how far back they go, this generation or previous generations. Tapping the little finger, releasing the need to take action on those old sabotaging patterns. Tapping the top of the head, I'm giving myself this gentle nudge to move carefully and deliberately. I'm tapping the eyebrows, loving myself, tapping the temples, respecting myself, and trusting myself. Tapping the cheeks. I'm letting this be easy. Tapping into the nose, more fun than I thought it would be. Breathing, tapping under the lips, and to pay off hugely. In terms of what? In terms of physical strength, emotional stability, financial stability, pleasure and joy. Tapping all over the body. I'm proud of myself for showing up and working through this. Tapping all over the body. Respect myself for coming again and again to do something that I know helps me. Giving myself permission to realign and redefine myself. Let's say that 3 times. Giving myself permission to realign and redefine myself. Giving myself permission to realign and redefine. And so it is. Beautiful work. Thank you so much for being in circle with us. I really appreciate you being here. It's really important to me that you're here because I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So do pop into the chat if you're live with us. I see a lot of people chatting along here, talking about what's just happened. Jesselyn just chimed in, said she went to an 8 down to a 2 or a 3. Dedicated to do another tap to move another bunch of energy. Earthla is saying, really great tap. Thank you, Sonia. Hannah says, so good to tap with you. Purple Dragon, you're so welcome. Christina, you're 50% there. Congratulations. So sacred. Thank you, says Marquesa. You are so welcome. Love you, Mama Sin. Can't wait to see you again in a few months. Bella, Kat, Magnus, everyone, love you so much. Thank you for joining us and looking forward to seeing you in the circle next time.
The training, Sonia? You wanna...
Oh, yeah, and he did this again last week. I asked him to remind me. We still have a few spots left in the spring training, which is actually happening in the summer. So we were doing them in April, and this year, for some reason, we're doing one in June. So Magnus, do you mind dropping into the chat and also into the sticky notes there a link to learn more about the training? So we still have 5 or 6 spots left. If you want to get trained to, number 1, learn how to tap deeply on yourself. Number 2, learn how to give amazing sessions to other people, whether you do that as a hobby to just help your friends and family, or whether you do that professionally. This is a way for you to come and be held by me and Team Love, work together for 10 days, do a bunch of online prerequisite work to get yourself up to speed, and go through an immersive, beautiful, sacred, hallelujah, dancing, yoga, meditation, organic food, 10 days of incredibly deep transformational work with me and a group of extremely skilled, loving people. We call it an angel factory, and I'm not kidding. What will happen afterwards is that you will be 100 times more yourself and come out able and willing and capable of helping as many people as you desire. So, and we will continue to support you in the tapping circle. You'll have a year subscription for free that comes with that, as well as a Facebook group of trained practitioners who've been through the same course who are willing to do tap trades with you. So join us. The fall training that we normally do in the States is going to be in Europe this year. Looks like I'm about to sign a contract to do it in Spain. I'll be teaching in Sweden and possibly Amsterdam and Croatia. So if you know people in Europe, we're going to be doing one training in the States and one training in Europe for the next foreseeable future. So if you live in the States, get into the the June training if you can. Thank you again for your time and attention. And that link is there up in the top of the sticky notes. If you're watching this in replay, go to soniasofia.us under trainings, and it's at the bottom there, 10-day practitioner training. Thank you so much for your time. Love you all.